Okay, so introduction to Flutter workshop for beginners. And first of all, think what is Flutter? Flutter is the Google UI toolkit for building beautiful, natively compiled application for mobile, web, desktop, and embedded devices from single code base. This is the definition that we can find internet. What exactly that means? Flutter is the cross-platform UI framework. What that means? If you are developing the application for your Android, your iOS mobile application, for your website, desktop application, then use the Flutter. With the single code base, we can maintain the application on all the platforms. So it targets the multiple platform. Yes, as you can see in the image, this can help you to develop the mobile application in Android and iOS, web application for different browsers, and desktop application for Mac, Windows, Linux. Like, why we are switching to the Flutter? As you know, for Android, we use the Kotlin. For iOS application, we use the Swift. And for that, we have to maintain two different teams for the Android application and for iOS application. Now, these two teams should be aligned while maintaining this both application of in Kotlin and Swift, right? And it obviously increases the cost and manpower, everything. So the Flutter helps you with the single code base. We can perform the application, we can develop the application for Android, iOS, and web also. So it definitely going to reduce your manpower and cost also. You can use this cost and manpower to develop the new features in your application, right? So the next thing, the Flutter use the Dart programming language. As I already mentioned in the previous talk, Dart is very easy programming language, is like object-oriented programming language. If you know any programming language, you don't need to be scared about the Dart. Dart is so easy. Here I put one simple program snippet from the Dart. Like regular Dart function is also start with the main. With the main, here you can see there is the first line, that is print message. It is calling the function print message. Second, it is printing the output from the test function. In the third line, it is going to printing the output from the second function. Let's see in the print function. It is just like, this is the syntax for Dart when you just want to return a single line. In print message function, I'm going to return a single line, just print hello. So it is printing over there. And like here you can see the test returning us the integer value. Again, with the double is returning us the single value, that's 123. And third function is second. We are printing the output for this, and what it is going to return, the false. So you can see here, it can give us the output like hello number and the booleans value. Don't be scared, we can see this part more detail when we start move towards the coding part. In the Flutter, there is a widget library. There are the basic widget. You can use this basic widget. You can use this widget to design your application, and they are very elegant default UI component. You can easily use that, and it is highly customizable. You can customize this according to your need and designs. So what is widget? In Flutter, widget is everything. Yes, everything. In Flutter, every component is referred as widget, and this will help you to design your applications. When you start composing, developing your application, in the backside, it going to form the widget tree. Widget tree showing you your best parent widget, that is your very first widget in your application, and how you are going to expand your application according to that. This widget tree is going to expand. Let's see, before starting coding, let's see some basic widget for Flutter that we are going to implement today. App bar. You can see in the whenever we start our mobile application, we can see the app bar over here. So this is upper column and rows. You can see some components that is vertically aligned, horizontally aligned. So these are also widget in the Flutter, like column and row. Also there is a widget container, and this every widget in the Flutter has some property, like you can customize with this property, you can customize this widget and design your applications. Like here you can see for the container, we have different properties like color, margin, padding, alignment, width, and height. Elevated buttons, we have different types of buttons are there. I just put some for the slides, and then elevated button, images, text are there. The main part is the scaffold, which give you the base for your UI components. So what we are going to see in today's workshop, we are going to make one profile card, and then we can see the navigation between the screens, and we can, at the last, we can see data integration with UI. We are going to integrate some REST API with our mobile application. Let's start then. Let me. So I'm going to use the Android Studio because I feel the Android Studio. Okay, I'm very comfortable with Android Studio. You can use the visual code also, VS Code, because that is very lightweight. If you are comfortable with VS Code, use VS Code. So let me show you. Now in Android Studio, to start new Flutter project, just click on File, New, and New Flutter project. Here it will show you the SDK path of Flutter. When you follow that instruction that I provided you last session, that how to install Android Studio, there you can get the SDK path. You have to put the SDK path over here. Once it's set up, give the name of for your project, like suppose I'm demo.
So we are making sure if everybody is following this. If anyone has questions, please raise your hand.
Yes, just raise your hand. Are you going to do coding together, or you want to try coding later on? So I can understand.
I see Juyun has a hand raised. Do you have any questions? No. Okay, we can proceed.
So for just put
sorry. The download links for Flutter SDK are in the chat. So if you are coding together, and if you have any doubt, please raise your hand. Thank you.
They're coding together. Okay, together. Okay, that's great. Okay, that's great. So we need to start our Flutter project. File, new Flutter project, and you need to give the name. Make sure all the characters should be small. You can use the underscore. Capital character, it is not going to acceptable. And then when after you put your project name, just click on create. It will take some time to create the basic boilerplate of the Flutter. I'm going to open on this window. Okay, now in the left hand side, you can see your project name comes over here with the location where it gets stored. And there are different folders like Android, iOS, Leap folder. Leap folder is your library where you can put your code files and you are going to actual code. This leaks Linux, Mac OS, Android and iOS. These are the platform dependent, means if you want to give some functionality that is specific to any platform, then you have to code in these folders. But for beginner, we are going to see or here Leap. Now in the main, this boilerplate is given by the Flutter, and let's see, let me show you my emulator that I attach on here. This is my emulator, so we can see whatever we are doing to code, we can directly see the output over here. Okay, to just run this boilerplate, push the run button. And if you check this, read this file carefully, you can come to know that they give the proper command that to understand what this file and what this particular widget for. Like this widget is the root for your application, means this my app widget that you are going to do. Now you're saying my app is a class. Why you're saying widget? Yes, is the widget because it's extending the stateless widget. Okay, so here is the widget, and if you see the as every program in every programming language, entry point is the main function. So in Flutter also the entry point is the main function, and it takes the run app. Now run app is a function which initialize your application, which give the start of your application, and it takes the parameter widget and tells that okay, this is your basic widget, start your application with the from these widgets. Okay, so it will take some time at first time loading, and then there is a hot reload functionality in Flutter that is really cool. Whatever you're going to change, just do the hot reload and you can immediately see the changes. So we will see that one also. So here in the emulator, it gets started. If you see it in this boilerplate, it is giving you ABBA, one text and one number over there. And when you click on this button, this counter get increased. So this is the boilerplate provided by the Flutter for the Android by the Android Studio. Now let's see, we have to customize this one. We have to make our profile card. I'm just going to delete all the comments, putting the same one, and let me show you. Okay, let's start with the main function which calls the run app function and which tells start my application with the my app widget. Now comes into the my app widget. This is your stateless widget. Now there are two types of widget in Flutter, the stateless widget and the stateful widget. If in your application, if user interacting the component and that is going to change the state, that is called a stateful widget, that is mutable. You can change the state of that. You can change like checkbox, radio button. You can toggle on that. Text form field, you can put a text. So it is changing the state. So it comes under the stateful widget. The other is stateless widget, the widget that is not going to change its states, like labels. Okay, this is not going to change, sorry, labels, you can say text in Flutter, so it is not going to change, so it comes under the stateless widget. So let's see, in the stateless widget you can see it's return the material app. This build, whenever your application get called, whenever that widget get called, like in my app, is start building that page, and it start with the build method. Now build method returns the material app. This is the root of your application, the base for application on which you're going to put the different components. And the important property in material app is home, that which page you want to display as a home page, as the landing page for your application. So I don't want to display this page counter app, so I'm just going to delete this my class, and instead of this I want to show profile card. So just give the profile card. Now, if you see, they are saying the method profile card isn't defined for the type my app, because we didn't created the profile card yet. So let's go to the lib folder, do the right click, new, and dart file. In the lib folder, right click, new, dart file, and give the name profile card dot. It will give you empty file over here. Now in profile card, I'm going to display some data. I'm not going to change any state. I'm going to display one circle avatar and then text and some cards for our phone number and email. So I'm going to do the stateless widget. Stateless widget that is not going to change its states. So if you put the S over there, you can see stateful and stateless. Just choose the stateless and it will give you boilerplate for the stateless widget. Put your class name, widget name that you want to display over here, the profile card. Now it is giving you error. Classes can only extend other classes, and it is giving you solution that you can import the package Cupertino.dart, or you can import the material.dart. Sorry. Material.dart has this all the features which contains the stateless widget and stateful widget and the basic components over here. Once you import it, all the errors gone. Now come to the main folder, and here if you check the error, it will give you solution. Here you get this red bulb, it will give you some solution. So import, we need to import this file, profile card file, into the main file, main.dart. So just import and you will get the read from that error. Now, when this profile card get loaded, I want to display scaffold. This scaffold, if you want to see details of any particular widget, just select that widget and alter Control and B, and you will get the details of that. Okay. So it will give you, creates the visual scaffold from material design widget, so that you can basically put your widgets onto that, and it give the beautiful look for your application. So whenever you want to see for something like in scaffold, the base part is done. Now the first property comes the app bar. I want the app bar over here. So app bar is the property name. This app bar start with the small letters is the property name, and the widget name is start with the capital one. And it has app bar widget again has the property title. In the title, it is going to get a text widget. In the Flutter Dart, you can put the string in the single comma, single inverted comma, or double inverted comma. So profile card. And here is the hot reload. You can see this functionality now. These are the boilerplate output, and we are going to change it. So just click on the hot reload and you will get, this is our output for this. We are landing on the profile card, and whatever profile card going to show, just the app bar. Okay, you got it? Do you have any question up to this? You can ask or put it in the chat and we can get it in between. The properties, body for scaffold. Okay, this is the properties of scaffold, the app bar and the body. Now in body, I'm going to return one column. Column, as the name suggests, is the vertical. It will give you functionality so that you can put your components vertically, right? And the column, in the column you can put the different many components, means every parent has a child, column, row, and stack. This has a children widget. Okay, you can put the array of widgets inside this. So the first thing, I'm going to put the circle avatar. Sorry. Circle avatar is the widget where you can put your photos or avatar, any avatar that you want to put. Now, to put this avatar, some dummy image or your photos, you need some image to insert in your application, right? So let's see how we can insert the image in our application. So this images is the asset for us, asset for our application. So come to the project folder, click on the right, new directory. And here I'm going to create one folder named assets. It's get visible over here. Okay. Now in the assets, I'm going to create another folder, another directory called images. So that I'm going to store over there. Now here I put some images from here. So what I'm going to do, just copy these images into your image folder. Okay, it will ask you to rename if you want to rename it or not. Just I'm going to put it same. Okay. See, avatar2.png get added over here. If I want to add another one, it's get added over here. Okay. Now this just get added, but how the application going to understand how it application get that there are the assets, images, and we need to use that. So come to the pubspec YAML file, and here you can see the name of your application, description, and it will give you versioning of your application, dependencies. If you are going to use some different packages in a Flutter application, Shruti, I think somebody waiting in the lobby, just for your information. Yeah, there are different packages in the application, so you can put it over here. And now let's see here in the comment. If you read this nicely, to add asset to your application, add an asset section like this. Okay, so they give everything what you need to do. Just uncomment it. Now here in pubspec YAML's file, we need to take care of these white spaces. So like 2 spaces over here. Then again come down. 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces over here. And here in the assets, I'm going to add the assets, but from which location? I'm going to add the assets, images. Okay. Now, either I can put avatar1.png. So it can particularly added this avatar1.png, but I just put images and slash, it will access every image from the images folder. So I'm going to put that, and once then we need to click on the pub get, that it's going to include this asset in your application. After including the dependency, you should get the finish code 0, means it's successfully added. Come back to our application. Now circle avatar, it needs the radius, how big you want to be display your circle avatar on the card. So I want to put its image, as the name suggests, is a circle avatar. So it will display in the circle. So it needs radius. I give it 50 over there, and it needs the background image. Here I put the asset image, and again it takes the string, and which is the path of your image. Assets, images, avatar1.png. Put the full path over here. Okay, you can see over here, just hot reload. Either you can put this, click the hot reload from here, or you just save it again and you can see the changes. You get the avatar over here. Okay, so next part is, suppose this is the avatar, and then I want to add the name of the person in the column. Once you finish one widget, give the comma, go for the next widget. Suppose I'm taking text, and here I'm going to put, suppose I'm putting the comma. Okay, see the changes. Okay, it will display it over here, but I want to use some different font over here. So just for styling, there is a property of the text widget, style, text style, and you can put the font size 20. It will increase the font size. Now I want to use some different, this is the default font over here, but I want to use the different font. How to use that? For that, if you see, check the website. Let me show you. Google Fonts, fonts.google.com. Come to this website, you will get the different fonts over here. In whatever font you needed, just click on that. Take it. Once you click on that, you can see that font, and here is the download family. You can see, download it. Come to the your downloads folder over here. Okay, and then extract it over here. It will ask you the path. I'm putting the same one. Now, if you see, it will give you TTF font style. So you have to use this one. Also, I added some other fonts also. Just for the purposes, this one I downloaded Roboto, MyNerve. So in every time the for font, you will get the file type TTF, and you need to import this file. You need to copy this file in your application. Okay, so try it. Come to your application. Now these are the font assets I'm going to add. So I'm going to, just for simplicity, just for readability of your code, I'm going to get the new directory into the asset folders and giving the name fonts. And here I'm going to add that font. No. Why it is not get copied? I'm not understanding why it is not get copied here. So I have another way to do this. I will go to my project folder. So Android Studio and profile card demo, and here I get this asset folders, fonts that we just created. So we try it from here. It is done. Yes, done. And again, if you come back to, you can directly copy paste. In my case, it is not happening. That's why I do that. So see here, you can see, you can get this font over here. Now again, like images, you have to add this font into the pubspec YAML file. So come to over here, scroll it down, and you can see for fonts, you have to do it. So out the comment section, fonts family is the Smokum. And what is the asset path for this? Assets in the folder, the fonts folder, and the name of the file is .ttf. If you see, this is the full file name. Get for the update. We get the error. What is that? Definitely the white spaces. Check it. 1, 2. Then here we need 4. That is 2, 3, 4. 4. Here we need 6. Right. This exit code 0. So this white space matters. So be careful about that. Come to the profile card. Now here in the text style, there is another property, font family. Write the font family. What is the name of font family? Should I write this correct spelling? Yes. SMOKUM. Okay. Is the font look similar? Let me check. Yeah, this is the default one, and this is from family. The font get added. Now, if you see this circle avatar and the text coming in at one corner, so let's make it at the center. So column means vertical row of the components. So main axis alignment for column is the vertical, and I want to put in the center. So I'm going to put this all into the center. Okay, this comes into the center of the column. Now let's go ahead and here I want to give some space between my circle avatar and the name. So there is one property, sized box. And I want to put the vertical space. So I'm going to put the height 5. It will come the space in between. If you never understand what's going on, just give the little bit big number so that you get understand that what is the difference over here, and then take as per your design. So I put it over here. Now this code looks messy. Just click on the right click and reformat code with the Dart format. Okay. And also you can close this one widget so that it will help you to just read and something nice looking while coding. And then again, I want to give some text, and that text going to show that I'm a Flutter developer. So it is showing I'm a Flutter developer. Okay. Then I'm going to put one card. Now see what the card is, how it looks. We'll check. As you get the visiting card, it's get one nice shape with the borders and everything. So it's the same over here in the Flutter, and it's take the child. So child, let's check here. I'm going to put the list style. It's another widget that give you nice style, and it has the property leading. And here you can put the icon. Icon is another widget. In the widgets, there you can put any icon for your design. In the list style, I put the leading property, and in the leading property, I want to put the icon and email. In the card, I want to give the color, suppose gray, color start. This is our cards come, and it added with the gray color, added the email icon over here. Now I want to put some space from the both side of this card. So there is one property called margin. What is margin? Margin, whatever number you're going to specify over here, it is going to put that number from that pixels from both sides, or you want to display from only from top or from all sides or from bottom, you can specify that. So here I want to put the symmetric, and in the symmetric there are two parameters, horizontal and vertical. So here I want to put the horizontal for now and 15. You see, you get the space from these both sides. Now in the list style, I want to put the title. And again, title is the property, and it is going to be text widgets. It comes over here, and email, I want to type abc@gmail.com, everyone's favorite email. So it displays over here. Okay, now I want to make the another card. What should I'm going to do? I'm just going to copy paste the same code, right? Just do that. Save your effort, save. So I'm just going to copy it. And now instead of icons, I'm going to give phone number. So display again everyone's favorite phone number, 1209. Okay. Two cards come. Now it looks attached. I want to give the space in between that. So let's do in symmetric, we give the spaces from the both sides. Let's do the vertical also. 15. You can get the vertical space over here. See this Flutter developer. Here also you get the space, and here also. And come to the vertical 15. Okay. I want to add some background. So what is this white one? White one is the scaffold. So come to the scaffold, and here you can see the background color property. Here you can put the colors. Which color should I choose? It's very difficult question. At least for ladies, I know. Everybody knows. Let's go. Let's choose something.
You can choose blue if that was a common theme. But just to
okay, let's
we
go.
have a question here. We have a question raised by Petin. How the avatar came to the center.
How the avatar came to the center. Okay, when we did our card, okay, and this card, it takes the full available space in the column. Now when you put the symmetric and everything, means according to your widget, it's get moving. And also there is one property, like we put this for column, we put the main axis alignment, it's give it the center at the column. And if you want to center from there, there is a cross axis alignment also. Okay, this cross axis alignment means for row. Now for this particular column, the cross axis alignment, and you have to put it center. Okay, you can do that to make it center. So I think you got that.
So maybe just unmute yourself if you have further question.
Can't we write phone icon code under one code? I didn't get this one. Can't we write phone icon code under one code means? You can just unmute and ask the question if you have any.
Okay. So meanwhile, can I just request some everybody to maybe pause for 1 minute for a selfie. If you are okay, you can turn on your video for a few seconds.
Should I stop my sharing till then? Yeah.
It's fine. You can keep it. Keep the screen. It's okay.
Okay.
So may I please request everyone to please turn on and uh, only 3 people I can see. So yeah. So if there is no one who want to turn on the camera, I'll just take a screenshot quickly. Thank you so much. Hope hope everybody's questions are addressed now, and we can move on to the next phase of the talk. Over to you, Yogita.
Yeah. Okay, this is our profile card. Now we are going to see our log. We have to see the navigation between two screens. For navigation between two screens, I'm going to design one login page after providing the email and password, some text over there, and we can proceed for the next button, and there we can see the how to navigate between the screen. So rather than creating the new one, I'm creating the one Dart file over here for the login so that we can get it all together at one place. And here again, now in the login, I'm going to put some text fields buttons. So it should be the stateful widget. So come to your stateful, the name login page. And again, it is going to throw some errors. So we need to import here material package, which will solve our all problems on this page. And now I'm going to mention this class name, this widget's name in the root of our application. So here, instead of profile card, we are going to show now login page, and it is asking us to show import that login file over here. So if you see, it get imported login.dart. So comes here. The first base is the scaffold, and it takes the property app bar. In the app bar, you will show the app bar widgets. And in that title is the property which is going to show your text. Not text, sorry, text. Login page. It checks and it changed from profile card to login page. Now, the another properties, body. And in this body, I'm going to display one logo, one text field for the email, another text field for password, and that button. So again is the vertical column of the component. So takes a column, and it will again children, the widget array of the widgets. In that, the first will comes the image. Which image I'm going to add over there. I'm not going to add avatars on the login page. So come to the image. I have here Flutter logo. I'm just copying this here. Again, Control C in the images folder. Flutter logo.png. Okay. Now in pubspec YAML file, as you put the images slash, means it is going to take all the images. So no need to do the image, no need to do any extra for this again. Just do the pubget once again and it will get added. Come to the login page and here you're going to get the image asset. Image.asset will help you to take the image from your application, and image.network helps you to take the image randomly from the internet. So assets images slash your image name flutter logo.png, unable to load the assets. Okay, flutter logo.png, flutter logo.png, assets, images. Right. So okay, let's check for until then we will check what's going on over here. So just wrap this image. Now I want to put this image asset into one container. So how I'm going to do that? Just click and you can see the yellow bulb over here. When you go to drop down list, it will show you the widgets where you want to wrap into another widgets. I want to wrap into the container. Okay, now container become the parent widget and image asset become the child widget. And I will provide some height and width for this container. Suppose height I'm going to give 150 and width 200. And then let's see. Nope. Okay, let's restart the application. After container, I'm going to put the text field over here. Now text field help you to accept the input for your application. So text field is the widget that gives you this functionality. So let's go. What happened with this image? Did I put the right name? Assets, yes. Images, spelling is correct. Flutter logo.png, yes, it's correct. In pubspec YAML file, no need to do anything. Copied or yes, it is there. It's really very difficult situation for developers when we do the peer programming and something not going to happen. So let me do it again. What's the problem? To the images, I'm going to delete it from here. So yes, and get added. Okay. Okay, whoever doing side by side, did you get logo here? or you are also facing problem, you just type into the chat box. Okay, so now I stuck over here, so I'm going to do finding one logo from the network. Let's do Google Flutter logo images, and I want some transparent logo, so I will do the color transparent, and here I will get one beautiful logo that I want. Right click, image address, come over here. Now instead of asset, I'm going to change network and going to put the string as the parameter. Yes, asset is not working, but Google working. So let's go with the network. Relative path maybe. Okay. So guys, I'm going for the network image. Oh. Okay, we will check it. Okay, in the text, let's see, the next field is a text field. Now when I added this text field, I just get this line. Okay, but we want to decorate it, so there is the decoration property, and in the input decoration you can do, and here you can put the in the decoration you can put the input decoration and how you want to decorate. Like I want to give one border with the outlines, outline input border, and I want to put some label text that we can see over there, and here I'm going to put the email. I want to give some hint, so with the hint text I'm going to do that, and enter your address. For example, also I'm giving abc@gmail.com. Let's check. So here we get the email. This is our label text that we displayed over here. This is the hint text. Now this really looks like stuck to each other. So let's do some paddings over here. So for text field, I'm going to give wrap with the widget padding. And here again, I'm going to give, I don't want to give all. So suppose I'm going to give symmetric. And here I'm going to put vertical. Yeah, if I'm going to put vertical, symmetric, vertical and horizontal, it comes automatically all. So let's go with that and let's see. This is the padding for the text field. So it gets the padding from the top, between the logo and from all sides. And also I want to give above some padding. This looks like stuck to the app bar, so I want to give the padding from the top. So just mention, not here, here it comes only, and inside the bracket it comes top. And suppose here I want to give 50. Now this paddings comes on the logo. If you see this container of image, this get wrapped into this wrapping. So this 50 pixels comes here. Now this is email, and again I want to same for the password. Put the same, just change it, label text to password, and enter valid password. Okay, you will get here, not here, come to the emulator and type it here, abc@gmail.com, and here you can password abc123. Okay, now after putting some text over here, I want to put one button, login button, that will give our actual motive, the navigation between the screen. So let's do that. Suppose I'm going to, after this, padding, and just pack it little bit so that easily understand. This one for image, this one for email, this one for password, and now I need one container for button. So in this button, I'm going to give the width height as 50 and width 200. I want a little bit long button. And then the child of this container will be the elevated button. I just want, okay, elevated button. Now it is giving me error. What is the error? It required argument on pressed. Okay, means every button there is the default functionality. If you are putting button, you have to press on that. So it's giving me that one again. It needs the child. Yes, what is going to be child? What is this button for? So I'm putting text and putting the text on as login. I did the control S and we get the elevated button over here. This login text looks very small, so I'm going to style it with the style property and text style widget. And here I'm just going to increase the size of this font to 20. Okay. Now I enter the email password, and then obviously I'm going to click on the login button. Means I'm going to press the login button. And I wish after pressing this button, this will navigate me to the other screen. Until now, we profile card and this login, we just see the one screen. We need to navigate to the other screen. So let's design the other screen first. I'll come here in the lib new dart file. So I'm going to say the home page for that. And in the same way, I'm going to do, suppose I'm going to do, just going to show one stateless widget and showing the home page. This is my home page. Please navigate me over here. And it is giving the same error. So it needs the material package so that it takes the stateless and stateful widgets from there. And here I need the scaffold in the app bar. I'm going to mention that what this screen for with the property title and the text. This is my home page. Okay. And the second property is body. Into the body at center, I want to put one text. This is home page. Forgot the inverted comma. I forgot a child. Center is the parent widget, text is the child widget, not child. This is our home page kit design. Now, after clicking on the login button, let's divert this navigation to home page. come to our login page over here, and in the on pressed of this login button, there is a class navigator which helps me to navigate, and it will push the route from this context. Okay, now context means location, current location of your widgets. Now it is going to travels from the material page widget builder. Where it is going to travel to? No, not this. I want to traverse to the home page widgets. Okay, this is the way to call this. Ends with the semicolon. Now it want to add that file over here because we are using the name over here. So import that file into the file. You will get here homepage.dart and save it, hot reload it. Let's check. I already put the email and password. Click on the login button and it will comes to the home page. This is home page, and you will get the back arrow over here to traverse back. Now this is for the, when you push the back arrow, it again goes to the login page. But if suppose you want to put the same button or there, so just copying this container, going to the home page, and below this text, I will wrap this text into the column, and below this page, I'm going to put this button container. And now go back. And here it will just pop you from that stack. When you do the navigator push, it will make one stack, and whatever pages you're going to push over there, it gets stack. Now you know the stack property is always first in, last out. So here this home page get pushed in the stack. So take it out again, and the context will give the location of this widget, and it will give you the button over there, which will help you to go back. So this is how you navigate through the navigator.push and navigator.pop between the two screens. Let me take it out, the center widget from here. Remove these widgets. And here main axis alignment, I want it center. Cross axis alignment, I want it center. Now no. Oh, oh. No. Okay. You can try the different, but this is the start and center. You can do that. And with the navigation button, we can see the navigator.pop will take out your page, whatever you push into the stack, and navigator.push will help you to stack your pages into the stack, and so that you can navigate through the screens. Okay, this is our second. If you have any question regarding this, you can ask. Okay, no. Okay, so let's turn towards the API integration. One REST API we have to integrate, how we can fetch the data in our application. So here I'm going to create one dart file, and I'm going to give the users the user list from the REST API. So let me share you first one endpoint. From that, I'm going to fetch the data. Where is that? Okay. This is the HTTP JSON, HTTP as JSON placeholder dot type icode.com/users, and it will give me some 10 users, so that I'm going to fetch these users from here and display it in our application. User list. Here I'm going to put one stateless widgets, and I'm going to show the user list. I'm going to import material package, which helps me for the stateless and stateful. And now this user list be my landing page. So I will come to the main.dart, and instead of here, I'm going to put this name user list and import over here. It's for simplicity, so I'm going to add this code on the GitHub later on, so that everything should be in one project. So get user list get added over here. The user list, I do the basic stuff first, scaffold, and then app bar, title, text, user list. Okay, this screen get changes. Now let's start. Let's start with our JSON data, what we are going to get. This is our data that we will get from our endpoint. You can easily check with your JSON extension in the Google, directly put it, or you can check with the Postman. Now, we need to pass the data. If you go into the Google and just find JSON to Dart, we need to create the model class for this. So I usually use this JSON to Dart, and here I will copy this JSON data. So it will give me the model class, and I will explain it. And this is the list of the data, and I want to give the class name, suppose user model. It gives me the model class. Take it from here. Come to your project file. And here I'm going to create one Dart file, and that is my user model. Here I'm going to paste this. Now, this is the user model. It tells you that ID, name, username, email, address, phone, website, this company. These fields you are going to get. These are their data types that is available in Dart. So integer, string, 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 address, and company. these are again another class, and these are the object for that class. If you go to the address, in the address you can find a street, suit, city, zip code, geo. Again, geo is the another object of geo class. So this is how you're getting the model class ready over here. These question marks denote that this string can be empty. If you put only integer id, means it will restrict you that it cannot be null. But if you put the question mark over there, it can be null, and you can code accordingly that, because many times it happens that sometimes null data comes though. So if you need that, code it accordingly, handle it accordingly. So it is not going to throw the any expression, any exceptions. So this is how our model class created. Now from JSON, when you fetch your data, it's in a JSON format. So you need to, it is going to give you the model user model object. So you need to parse it into your object. And this is to JSON. When you want to transfer some data back to the, post some data back to the API. So you need to convert your class object into the JSON object before sending it. So that is why this is the from JSON and to JSON. And this is our user model class ready. And I'm going to create one dot file to give the constants. Dot where I can specify all the constants that I'm going to use. So create one class with API constants. And here I'm going to put the static string. And base URL, I'm going to say, and this base URL should be, this part I'm going to put in the base URL. Because when in the organization, you will get some base URL and some other URL like here slash users. This will give me users data. Then you will get some endpoints, like some give you some other information. So here it's the users. Now this is your base URL and endpoint. From here you are going to fetch data, user model, and this will help you to parse that data and creates the object that you needed. Okay, so let's create the class which will help you to fetch the data, and I'm going to call it as service.dart. Okay. Class API service. Now to fetch the data, we are fetching the data from HTTP. So we need to add that package in our application. So there is a package called HTTP in Flutter, and we are going to add it. And for adding that package, just come over here after 2 spaces, HTTP : and just do the pubget, and HTTP get added in your application so that you can use that, and you can put the URL over there and fetch the data from there. So sorry, constants, scaffold, and to close this. This on to close. Okay. Come to the service.dart. Here I'm going to put the get user function. Now this get user function will return me the list of object of class user model. Here I'm going to create the URL, that is our URL, not a URL actually. Yes. Sorry. Our yes. Let's create the variable URL which will take URI is the method that parse will help you to parse your URL and convert one proper URL so that you can fetch it. And what is that? You're going to get it from a constant that we create, API constants dot base URL, and concatenation of two string you can do with the plus sign, and again API constants and endpoint. So it will give you whole URL that you can find over here. Now we want to fetch this URL. For that, let's do, and by fetching this, we will get a response. So create one variable response, and here I'm going to get http dot get from which URL that we created first. Now it is giving me error for undefined name called a getter http. Yes, we need to import the package http dot and give its alias as http so that it will help you to fetch the URL from here. Now fetching URL and everything, it will take time. So make it should be wait over here. So put the await. Now something you're waiting for any particular event to get complete, you need to put the keyword await. And now this become the asynchronous, so you need to add the async keyword over here. Okay, and now async await always give you future, so write the keyword future and it will return in future. It is going to give you the list of user model. So we got a response, we have to check it. So this is the response in the response variable, and we get the status code in the response. If your status code equal to 200, that is the standard method to check whether we get a successful response or not. So I'm checking if it is 200, then return. What I need to return? A list of user model which takes the user model from JSON response dot body. And here I need to return now. We don't have model from JSON. Okay, we need to define this function. Okay, this function going to take parameter a JSON string and going to return list of the user model. So let's do that. For that, I'm going to go to the user model, and here let me define this function. So it is going to return me list of user model, and the function name is that I want to use here. Just copy the function name from here. which takes the string. This is the JSON string. It is going to return me the list of user model from where the JSON that I get, it is going to decode that JSON, and I send it in the str as a parameter. From this, we are going to send response.body. This str is the same response.body. We are going to decode it and traverse that list map, like in JavaScript. Yes, map functionality will help you to traverse through the list, through every element. And here the X. Now I'm going to call the user model class from JSON and passing this X. Yes, I got the JSON string, and here from JSON it will come and take that JSON, that X, that particular one object, and convert everything into the ID. This ID belongs to the user model class that we created. Convert into the object, and that object gets stored into the list of user model. So the list we need to show in Dart is the triangle parameter and okay. Okay, let me put it everything into the try. And if it is not, then catch the exception. I mess up some brackets, I think. This bracket, this bracket belongs to class. This is class. This is function. This is try. And I'm going to put catch. I'm going to catch the exception. When you get exception, just throw, or you can print that message so that we'll get what is that error. Not to be written, but written type. Can be okay. This is what, because we put the question mark over here, means it can be null in future. So if it can be null future, so it will can return the null also. So just put the question mark also. Sometimes I will get users or sometimes not. So this is our API service, which will help you to fetch the API data from the endpoint. On the status code, we are going to check it, and if the status code is correct 2000, if the response get proper, then we are going to pass that response to the user model from JSON. Now come to the user list. Okay, now in the user list, we have to design that. Okay, we have to take one list over here, and that is list again of type user model that we fetch from the endpoint, and we need to display it over here. So take it, it can be null, and I'm putting at the user model as the private variable. Whenever in Flutter, whenever you put the underscore before variable name, it consider as the private. So it is asking me to import this user model file dot file over here. So import it. I created one empty list over here. Now There is an init state function. Not here in the stateless widget. I want to. Oh. Okay, this is giving us error because I want to make it as the stateful widget. So I have to create it the stateful widget. So just go here, click on convert to the stateful widget, and it becomes the stateful widget. And here, this is the class name, and this is the state of widget. It creates the two classes over here. This class belongs to state of that particular. So just go here. Now, in this class, there is a function init state. No, override. I'm going to override init state. Init state function get called when this page, when these widgets get called, and whatever you want to initialize, you can initiate, you can mention over here. So I want to mention one function get data, which will fetch the data from API from our service. So let's get define this function over here. Again, I created as a private, so it will limit it for this class only over here. So get data, and this function in the list that I defined here, I'm going to call the API service. I'm going to, which function is there? The service dot get users, and the class name API service. Okay, so come to the user list, and here API service dot get users. Here I'm going to call it, and again this will take time, so I will put the await keyword for this, should wait over here to complete it. It is going to ask me to import the API service over here, so import it. Access is the static access. Okay, so static access. Okay, this is going to call the get user function, and get user functions help us to do that. Now, when this data gets changed, sorry, when the data get fetched, I want to put the future delay. Future delay will help you to get some time so that it will fetch data and it will change your list accordingly. So it will take the object of class duration. In the duration, you can put seconds, minutes. So I'm going to put over here 1. And once after this delete is complete, then sorry, future delayed. Then this value is going to be reset, and it will going to be reset with the function set state. Okay, future delayed, and then duration for second one. Let me check. Some part future dot delayed, which takes the class duration and which takes the parameter seconds of one. And when the duration completed, then this value going to be restate. This is going to rebuild all the widget. This will help you to rebuild all the widget that you are going to specify over here. This is the boilerplate for set state, and inside I need to put, okay, so set state will help you to rebuild your widgets after 1 second. So whenever this get fetches, your widgets come and you have data in your user model list, then it will build your widgets. So let's come to the scaffold and start. We get our data over there. We already done how to fetch data and everything. So let's try over here to integrate with the scaffold so that we can display it on the screen. And here I'm going to check if user model equals to null. If it is null, or if it is null, then ternary question mark, then I'm going to show at the center and child circular progress indicator. It shows the symbols that it is keep loading. And if it is not null, then it will build a list view builder. Now the list view builder is the another widget in the Flutter which helps you to build a list. Sorry, to build a list, dynamic list that you get over here. And let's check builder, and it will take the 2 parameter context item builder, which actually build context and the index. Dot comma index, and it will take the item counts, means how long you need to be built at. So I want to build a model dot length, whatever data I'm going to get, according to that I want to do. So it can be null, so give the question mark, sorry, explanation mark, and in once it is come, I'm going to return the list style, which will help me to display the data. After returning its semicolons knitted in the list style in the leading, I'm going to show the text, and it will take the list user model, and index will help you to traverse through that. The user model can be null. So index dot id, and let it make it string. The element string function can't be assigned parameter. Sorry. String is the function, means whatever you are getting. Now our id is the integer. We can't display the integer value directly to the text because text always accept the string. So we are converting that ID with the help of toString into the string, and then we are going to display. And in the title, suppose I want to display the name of the user, then the user model, this list can be empty, and the index dot name. Let's check. I just save the project and we are waiting to reload it again.
So meanwhile, while we are waiting, I hope all of you are on the same page. Thank you for your patience. We are at the end of our workshop today, and I was wondering how many of you have managed to follow up to this so far. And if you have managed to get output, maybe can I see some raised hands? And so can I see some raised hands if you're following up to now? Yeah, great. Thank you, Petem and Manuel.
So it is, so I'm audible, right?
Yes.
Yes, my camera get off. Okay, so we are getting the null empty over here. So let me check, fetch it again. No. String. Until then, we can see the question if we have any. I think it's lots of for you, Shruti. So
Yeah, while we are waiting, we can take some questions. You can simply unmute yourself if you have any question.
guys, how many of you directly working with the Flutter or you're just learning Flutter first time? I wanted to know. It will be very nice. And if you connect me with the LinkedIn and we will keep in touch the first time. Yes. So can you just unmute and just tell me that you heard about Flutter and you are interested in learn Flutter to develop the application, or you just wanted to try or something like that? I want to hear some experience.
Hi, Yogita.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on Flutter right now. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm we're building a product with that.
Mm-hmm.
Previously, I was working with Angular, so I'm
Okay.
just trying to move to Flutter now. That is we are using it.
Oh,
We have a
great.
fintech product. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So previously we had a website. Now we want to make a very good looking app.
Mm-hmm.
So Flutter is really good. I mean, all the we're doing testing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody says, yeah, the user experience is good and all that. So yeah,
Right.
thanks for
Great.
this meetup. Anyways,
Great. Great. Anyone else? No. Okay. Check. We are still getting the circular progress indicator. So get data, user model, and wait. Okay. Here I can get the null value after awaiting. So this is the null safety feature in Flutter that will allow us to check for the null values and everything, whether it is, if it is null, then display something, or just don't throw the exceptions over here. So just put a null check over there. Strange. Application, let's do this thing. One way. User model equals to null if it is null, or user model is empty. Then it is going to show the circle progress indicator. Otherwise, it is going to build a list view builder with the user model length. It is giving the list style, the user model. Detail. Okay, what is wrong over here? The URL parse base URL endpoints, right? And then we will get the URL. Let me check the constant once again. The base URL and endpoint, yes. Model, user model from JSON. It will take the response.body as the parameter, returns the user model list from the JSON by decoding the response.body, and it is going to map. Just rerun the project again, once again, guys. And let's see what we will get the output for this. So it's great users. Yes, yes, it is good. What is extra? Set state, it is going to reveal the state. Yes. Oh, TTPS. I write the TTPS. How silly. H. Okay, thankfully we will get the data now. No. Control C. Slash users. My camera is off. Oh, no. Sorry, guys. I really don't know what's going to happen over here because I checked the code. Is everything is seems to be correct. Better I push the code on the GitHub and we will check. What you say, Shruti?
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Yeah,
If
and
you
we
can
can
share the gist later, that's also good.
Yeah, and we can share
share.
that GitHub links and everything.
Yeah. So meanwhile, if someone has managed to follow up, if you want to share your screen, please let us know.
I will let modifier because it is going to populate the later on after declaration. No. Guys, sorry to ask, but can anybody help over here? Otherwise, I will push the change code on the GitHubs and we can check over there. I think that is a good idea, Shruti. We can put it on the GitHub and share the link.
All right, since it's taking a while, we'll share the GitHub gist link later. Yogita will share the material with you. And thank you so much for your patience, and thank you so much for attending this workshop. I would like to acknowledge AI Camp and GDG Lumen for this wonderful workshop, and a wonderful speaker, Yogita, and her patience. Thank you so much for taking time to explain everything in detail to us. Thank you so much.
And also, guys, please connect on the GitHub and Twitter, and please stay in contact so that we can communicate in future. Thank you so much for attending, for joining me here today. Thank you, Shruti, for calling me on the stage.
Thank you. It's a pleasure hosting you, and have a nice day, everyone. Bye-bye.